live. Welcome back, everybody, this week to another episode of the Geekdom podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joseph, joined every week once again by Nate. Nate, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm glad we just figured that out right before the podcast. That's amazing. Maybe we'll have you should put that in like a little excerpt so people could use that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so for those that don't know what's going on, it's actually we just figured out how to enable everything in dark mode on Google Chrome. It's awesome.
Yeah, everything.
Everything, every page automatically loads in dark mode. It's very very nice, very
It
nice.
is.
But that's not what the podcast is about this week. But it was a good
It
start.
could be.
It very well could be. Welcome to the Google podcast.
There we go. Yeah.
Something tells me we'd have more viewership and
Maybe.
make a little bit more money. Just saying.
Possibly. Or make some.
Yeah, anything really. Just not be in the hole would probably be would probably be the good way to start. But speaking about people making money this week, first topic, big topic of the week.
Yeah.
Is Microsoft bought Bethesda. They backed up several Brinks trucks worth of money to Bethesda's doors, and they just went, yeah, we'll take that.
7.5 billion.
Yeah.
I think was the number given.
Yeah, and that's a crazy number when you put into perspective that that's like 6 times more than what they paid for Minecraft.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think that's a crazy number at all. I mean, before now, just look at how much Skyrim made off ports.
That's very true. Now it'll be becoming everything.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just Skyrim though.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot more than just Skyrim out of this deal.
But one thing I've noticed, it feels like in the last couple of years that Bethesda's overall quality has gone down, especially when you look at Fallout 76. And a lot of people weren't happy with Fallout 4. I've never been a Fallout fan. To me, all the Bethesda games are super buggy. And I eventually went back and platinum Fallout 4 just so I could complain about the game, because you always get those people who are like, yeah, you tried it and you probably just didn't like it. That's why you don't like it. I'm like, no, I have over 60 hours in it. The game sucks.
I didn't have a ton of problems with Fallout 4. I mean, it's another Fallout game. There's nothing special about it, and you got what you should have expected out of it. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, I just think it's really weird that a game studio like that though can continue to ship such buggy games.
Yep.
That that they're still praised for. It's because of it's because they don't optimize and they don't care.
Yeah.
And Fallout 76 became like the biggest cash grab out on the market today. There's still heavy monetization in that game. It makes the Avengers monetization look simple in comparison. But and that's not to say everything's bad. Like, I loved the first Dishonored game. The second one was okay. I loved the Doom reboots. Like, Doom Eternal was a little long, and like the whole jumping puzzle thing was kind of weird in first person. But overall, it's a Doom game. It's just fun. Get out there, shoot things, and have a blast with it. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with some of these franchises going forward. And does this mean that now Bethesda can put another team in the building and have one team working on Elder Scrolls while the other one's working on the Star, whatever that space game is that they're working on? Starfield, yeah, that's the name. For some reason, I kept trying to. My head kept saying Star Citizen, and it's like, no, that's not right. That's not the right.
But that one's never gonna come out either.
Yeah, that one's never gonna. Yeah.
Sorry. But no, I think now that they after Microsoft buying them, they have no more excuses. Nothing else. They probably have all the they probably have more resources than they even know what to do with now. So if they launch shitty games again, it's just them. Like, there's no more excuses. Like, they can't beat around the bush anymore.
Yeah.
So I think not only was it good for just business in general. It's also good for the consumer because I don't think anybody's going to take their shit anymore.
No, I agree. Like, they have too much resources at their disposal now to screw this up going forward. Uh, yeah, it's it's really weird. Like, and one of the things people have mentioned is, the creators of Outer Worlds, the Fallout like game that came out last year. They're the ones that made Fallout New Vegas, which is a lot of people's favorite Fallout game, and now they're under the same umbrella. So what's to stop them from going? Okay, all right. You guys work on your Elder Scrolls games, and you guys work on your Starfield and whatever else you guys are doing over there. We're going to give the Fallout franchise over to the studio that's worked with you guys before and knows what they're doing, and actually made a far superior Fallout game, from what I understand, to what you guys ever have.
Yeah, I think it was Obsidian.
Obsidian. I think that's their name. Yeah.
But yeah, like New Vegas is heralded as one of the best Fallouts, and it's not even made by Bethesda.
Yeah.
That speaks volume. I think that's what they should do. Be like, here, Obsidian, we own this now. Do whatever you want with it.
Absolutely.
And it'll probably be the best Fallout ever. Just keep Bethesda out of it.
Yeah, no, I mean they own a lot of rich IPs that could be farmed out to other studios now, and Microsoft is still they're the eater of studios at this point. They've acquired like 14 studios in the last 3 years or something like that. They're just pulling in everything they can, to expand their platform.
Oh yeah,
but
what?
No, go ahead.
What's super weird to me though is like we had heard that Microsoft wasn't going for exclusives. They just weren't. But there's a lot in this package for them to go, no, we still don't want exclusives. Yeah. That, I don't know. This seems like a perfect opportunity because Bethesda like surrounds a lot of games.
Yeah.
They bought a lot here. They could easily make exclusives out of this.
Oh yeah, they can, but Microsoft is also, bottom line, also likes to make their money back.
They do.
And, that's why you can still get Minecraft on everything in the world. And now, that's not to say I don't think there will be. I think there will absolutely be some exclusives, even if it's just timed exclusives. Hey, here's, the next Doom game. Play it for 30 days early on Game Pass.
Right. No, and I think that's a great business model.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. But the timing of this is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
Because this information this came out a day before pre-orders, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Microsoft knows what the fuck they're doing.
Oh,
they really do.
Yeah, and Microsoft said they're not done buying studios after this. But, I mean, the rumor is the reason that they went so hard at Bethesda. Like, apparently the Bethesda had been talked about for like a year or so now. Mm-hmm. And, it was kind of like, maybe yes, maybe no. And then I've heard that they lost out on Warner Brothers. They were trying to buy the Warner Brothers studios with Arkham and stuff because there was rumors those were for sale. And that they've lost out on those, and that's when they hopped in bed with Bethesda's.
Well, just reading some of this article and some of the other articles that we had went through, they seem to say that like Microsoft has been their longest lasting partner.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Already. They absolutely have been for them.
So I mean, truthfully, that sounds like a friends deal to me. Like if you're gonna sell your company to somebody, why not sell it to the person that's been there through everything with you?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but like I've they've had the first console game that they ever made. The first game they put out on consoles was Morrowind for the Xbox. That game never came to anything else. So.
Which is the best Elder Scrolls. Fight me if you don't agree.
No, I loved more. It was actually my first one. Now, the first time I played it, I was completely lost. Had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Same.
But, You know, we weren't used to those type of games back then, but
No, especially not on a console
yeah,
platform. That's
absolutely
why it
not
was
on a
so
console.
huge.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Like we've already starting to see some of the effects. They've already announced that Doom Eternal comes to Game Pass on the first, and
Which is
yeah,
great move.
yeah, great, absolutely great move. I fully expect all those games in the next everything in their catalog in the next 3 or 4 months to
Yep.
come over, and you know. All the marketing deals that Bethesda already had in place, because you know they technically have 2 games that are PS5 timed exclusives coming out
Mm-hmm.
that are going to say Microsoft Game Studios at the front of them now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So yeah, Tokyo Ghostwire and Deathloop are timed PS5 exclusive games,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're being produced and financed by Microsoft now. So
That's like cheeky advertising. I'm just saying.
nah, no. I tell you right now, if Microsoft could find a way to get Game Pass on the PS5, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, there's been rumors for a while that that a version of it was coming to the Switch.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to do like your Halo games or anything like that on it, but
I would love to play Halo on a Switch at an amazing 15 frames.
which isn't much better than what it runs on the other things. But
No, it's not. But
but yeah, I just there's so many possibilities coming out of this going forward that it's just unreal of the things that could happen. And yeah, like I said, the biggest thing is uh, getting more Bethesda games out there faster by putting them
yeah,
out to the other studios. You know,
and you kind of hit on this earlier. They're not done buying studios.
yeah.
But now we know what links they're going to go to purchase studios, because I think the amount of money is fine for
Mm-hmm.
that for Bethesda,
Yeah.
but I mean that shows you they're willing to drop a lot of money on studios if it's what they want. So there's a lot that could happen even there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's already rumors who the next acquisition is. Everybody, there's been hints about it. Uh, so everyone seems to think the next acquisition is Sega.
Oh,
Yeah, because they have a they have a controller coming out that is basically it's Sonic Blue. It's straight up Sonic Blue, and they're calling it an iconic color. And the other day, Sega posted like a beach shot of like Sonic next to these 2 drinks that were both green. And yeah, but
come on.
that came one day after the news broke, which I didn't put in here, and that's bad on me. That there is a remake of Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear Solid, in the works, and it's a PS5 exclusive through a Konami licensing deal between Konami and Sony for basically Sony to make Konami games going forward. They won't own the IPs, but they're basically making any Castlevania games, any Silent Hill games, any Metal Gear games. They're PlayStation games.
Wait, you're telling me
Uh-huh.
there's a chance for
Mm.
Silent Hill remakes?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Or even better, and this is the one because this rumor's been around for a while, but it's really started to kick into overdrive here in the last week or so.
Right.
And that uh, Kojima's next game is in fact his canceled Silent Hill game from Konami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
But yeah, Konami's playing it smart doing this way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hold on to the IP, so you're still making a crap load of money, and Sony's getting to make awesome games with your name on them. You know.
I mean, yeah, Sony's gonna get a percentage of that
Oh
too,
yeah,
as
no,
well.
absolutely, absolutely. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a win-win both ways.
It's definitely a win for the consumer, though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh no, I agree on that completely. But yeah, that and my question, once we heard the rumors that this came about because they lost out on Warner Brothers, I was like, does that mean Sony bought Warner Brothers, and they're just not announcing it yet?
Yeah, you would think.
Either that or
Unless,
the deal's just not like 100% set in stone.
right. Either it could have been like Warner Brothers, like, hey, you're gonna have to put up more money than this, and
Yeah.
then Microsoft came back with like, this is all we got, and they were like, nope, sorry about that.
Yeah. Peace.
Or somebody else could have been bidding on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Who knows?
like an Ubisoft or an EA or
Yeah.
yeah. There's still a couple of big names out there that could have been reaching in for that stuff. But
Like, I mean, EA's big enough to do it. Ubisoft's big enough to do it.
yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
but no, if anybody was like doubtful on getting a PS5, knowing that, you should go pre-order one.
Yeah. The Metal Gear remake.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is that Metal Gear remake.
I've never played a single Metal Gear game. We have to change that. I'm gonna change that.
We have to change that. We need to figure out the best. Actually, I know the best way to change that now. So, okay. I think I've mentioned GOG on here, goodoldgames.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So all the Metal Gear games just went. All the old Metal Gear games now have PC versions that are for sale on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can make this happen.
Yeah. There we go. We'll figure out which one's the best one for you. Probably just start with original Metal Gear. Like that's.
I want to play 1. So
yeah. Yeah, like you'll be able to get 1, 2, and 3. 4 is still stuck on PS3. They've never ported it out to anything else. You could do PlayStation Now though, like where they have like the trial of PlayStation Now for like a month or 2 weeks or whatever. It's on there.
Okay, I could blast it out on there.
Yeah. But I'm kind of hoping those rumors are true, but I just have a feeling that this year at the Game Awards, we're going to see a lot of crazy announcements. A lot of crazy shenanigans, as it were, and whatever Kojima's working on next, he's had a year. Yeah. And of course, him and Jeff Keighley are best buds, and Keighley was in Death Stranding. And, and if it's going to happen anywhere, it will happen at the Game Awards. So
yeah, I mean, this year's just going to be great. Well, the last quarter of this year is just going to be full of stuff. Like not only games that are dropping, but there's I feel there's going to be a lot of name drops coming in award shows and maybe even events. So I think it's just going to be packed full of stuff this year.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so we'll just have to see how all this turns out, and hopefully we got some good stuff coming in the pipeline. They say it's not a console war anymore, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a console war. To me, it feels like one person building a live service and another person, dominating a console market. Yeah, two corporations doing two very different things.
Yeah, but like I kind of really doubted Microsoft's even direction there for a long time.
Yeah.
But if they are going for a paid service type deal, buying studios is probably the way to start that. So.
Yeah, absolutely, because that the same day they put that out, they put out a thing saying that now 15 million people are subscribed to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do the math on what that brings in a month.
Yeah.
And realize that every month pays for more than one giant AAA game.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, it'll be interesting. I hope they take some of Bethesda's stuff and let the other studios play in those yards a little bit.
I think they will.
But next bit of news we got this week, I just thought it was interesting. It was a little announcement that it wasn't covered by a lot of sites, but so some former Witcher and Cyberpunk 2021 or 2077. I'll get the name on it right one of these days. Some of the devs from those games announced their first game for PS5 and Xbox. It's called Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a guy that is looking for his lost crewmates on a space station crash, and it looks interesting. And those guys come from Caliber. At this point, the Witcher games, Cyberpunk. Those. We're pretty sure Cyberpunk's going to be a top tier game. Uh, Witcher 3 was, that big explosion for that series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the series was always known and around, for being the weird, violent dude that hunts things and have sex with everything. But I mean, which is basically what those games were and still are.
Yeah.
Uh, and the third one absolutely blew it into the stratosphere and made it a top tier series. So these guys come from pedigree, and it'll be interesting to see like the little teaser that they had and stuff. It looks interesting.
It does.
It definitely looks like something worth checking out when the time comes.
I'm happy they supposedly stuck to like a non-linear story that like changes on personal.
Yeah, it's what they do best.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't like turn away from that on something like completely new that they haven't really dove into yet. It kind of shows a lot of confidence because those games are hard to make well.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. But next bit of news we got for this week is so it looks like Sega has renewed the licenses on the names Pokemon Gold Heart and Soul Silver. Yeah. And this seems to be an indication that we're getting remakes of those games.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited for that. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is good shit.
Yeah, see, I mentioned to you before the show, I've actually never played either one of those.
You need to.
Yeah. So
you will now.
Yeah, I will now. Yeah, if that's the thing that's coming, I absolutely will. Yeah, apparently some fans were wanting Ruby and Sapphire remakes, which to me is really weird because we just got those about 4 years ago on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I don't think we need to remake those again just yet. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And Nintendo, they'll announce a game today and it'll be out tomorrow.
Yep, that's so, Nintendo.
Yeah, that's just how they are anymore. Which I kind of dig, but when you're a man trying to shuffle around pre-orders, it's not always easy.
No,
when you're like, rough. Okay, I got this and this and oh no, there's one in the middle here. Now I have to figure this out. Okay, so. But yeah, so yeah, I absolutely hope that is something that's on its way. Yeah, I'd love to give it a try. I had actually never played Ruby and Sapphire until they got remade, so yeah, I kind of walked away from the Pokemon games for a lot of years there, and came back with X and Y.
X and Y is not bad. Yeah. So like those two trademarks that were filed by Nintendo for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Not only that, like they filed a trademark for the legendary Pokemon that's in that generation too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that just furthers that it's more than likely going to be remade.
Yeah.
Or ported over.
Even if it was just a cleaned up port,
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's a Pokemon game.
Yeah,
nobody really cares what it looks like.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I feel the same way. I don't care what it looks like. I just want the gameplay.
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, if I cared what it looked like, I would just watch it.
But going from one kind of RPG to very much a different type of RPG. Yeah. Our next bit of news this week is that RuneScape, old school and regular RuneScape, are coming to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
After for years and years just being available from a launcher on their website, they're bringing the games to Steam and they are free to play.
I don't see the hype here. My thing is like everybody from our generation knows what RuneScape is.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I can see they're hoping to do is broaden that horizon to the newer generation of gamers that never really grew up with RuneScape and never like played it in computer class in like the 9th grade or something, you know. But I would like to see the numbers of RuneScape downloads on Steam after a month. I really would.
Yeah, it would be interesting. You figure it's going to get some kind of decent push whenever, it'll be on the front page, of Steam
Like
for a couple of days.
And I know it's still popular, but I also wonder how many new players they have per month.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure the new player base is low, but I'm sure the old player base is pretty constant.
Like, I still know somebody that plays RuneScape every day. So,
but it would be interesting to see, like, do streamers make it popular? Like, is there a point where some of these streamers, hit their old itch and go back and start playing RuneScape, and that helps inflate the numbers? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, I know of one streamer that'll absolutely be playing that game, and that's Co-Carnage.
Right.
Because he plays it now, anyways. Like, occasionally, he takes, like, these stream vacations where he just, he doesn't stream anything but RuneScape every once in a while.
I mean, that could definitely happen, but I personally don't see that happening. I don't see, like, a good portion of larger content creators hopping on RuneScape now that it's on Steam, because most large content creators are our age, maybe a little younger. So I mean, they're gonna know where RuneScape's at if they want to stream it. I'm just saying, they didn't need it to be on stream or Steam.
Yeah. Like I said, it'd just be interesting to see what happens. Like, I'm sure the week 1 numbers will be very drastically different than the week 4 numbers.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see which way they go. But sticking with PC and gaming news is Horizon. Sold absolutely crazy in its first month on PC for a 3-year-old game.
Yeah, it blew up. It really, really did.
Yeah, 716,000 copies sold in the first month.
Yeah.
Which for PC is ridiculous unless you're like one of those little indie games. Like, for full-fledged, full-price games on PC, that's a crazy number. Anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Death Stranding did, right over half that.
Yeah. Yeah, and people, that was a bragged about, successful launch, And I think those are the numbers that Sony will be happy with for the most part going forward, If they could get between 350,000 and 700,000 units out of a game whenever they port it to PC, they're going to be super happy.
Oh, I mean, that's a lot of units.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I'm just curious of how much. I would love for a company to come out and tell us how much doing a port from a console to PC is, and then you could really do the math on how much they're making.
Yeah. And it seems like the same. I believe it's the same team that did the Death Stranding, PC port over, the same ones that did this Horizon one. And, if that's just their job within Sony now, is to keep porting things, then what's next? Yeah, it's either Bloodborne or God of War, to me, are probably the next ones on the list.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah.
I would love to play that God of War game at 144 frames. I'm just saying.
No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. But yeah, and I've watched people play Horizon. It's a beautiful game on PC.
Yeah,
and it's not like it was ugly on consoles to begin with. Like,
I've still never played it.
But
I'm not gonna point fingers at whose fault that may be, but
yeah, that's probably mine.
It is a little bit.
Yeah. But But that's all right. We'll get to it. You got some time.
I do have. I got the rest of my life to play video games. I'm for it.
Yeah, there you go. But the next update's just a little one that Animal Crossing getting their Halloween update in 3 days.
Little one. This is not little. I play Animal Crossing all the time.
I'm just saying it's a little fall. It's a fall update. Halloween stuff. Very, very much so. Nightmare Before Christmassy.
Oh yeah.
There's even the little joke in the trailer where like one dude he doesn't call himself the Pumpkin King. He calls himself like the Pumpkin Czar or something like that. And there's like, Even the music feels like it's Nightmare Before Christmassy.
Another thing about that is they didn't confirm a date, but at the end of that, they pretty much confirmed a Christmas free update too.
Yeah. They said that there's an update coming in November is how I think it was put out. So yeah, there's absolutely going to be a Christmas update. And in a second statement, they are re-releasing. I know you're not an amiibo person, so you might not have known about these, but the Animal Crossing cards. There was these Animal Crossing trading cards that worked like amiibos, and they have the chips in them, and you could scan them, and they put stuff in your games. So when this game came out, the first 3 series of them were impossible to find. Like they're all out of print. They cost big money. And they announced that, I believe at the end of October, beginning of November, that they are re-releasing the first 3 waves of cards.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to see how fast the re-releases of those sell out.
Immediately.
Yeah. And it's funny because for the longest times, a lot of those, because they were only good in the 3DS game and the Wii U game Happy Home Designer. Like that was the only games they were useful in until this Animal Crossing came out. So, I'm sure there'll be some items out there that people will pay top dollar to get their hands on.
I'm not gonna lie. I may just buy some and then keep them in its packaging for later.
Yes, absolutely. That is a sound strategy when it comes to this stuff. Because before they re-released the Isabelle amiibo, she was like $40.
Yeah.
So, and I had one, because I got a copy of Happy Home Designer off it because Happy Home Designer came with the Isabelle. It was the only way to get the Isabelle amiibo and one other amiibo that came with it. Nobody cared about the other amiibo, but I got a copy of it off Amazon for like $15. Back when I still, played my Wii U a lot, and it was just like, that Isabelle, those amiibos might be something to have one day. And I think I have all of, or almost all of the Animal Crossing amiibos. So,
wow.
Yeah, even so much that I have 2 sets of Tom Nook's children and didn't realize it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very much so. But, I don't buy a lot of amiibo. Of course, they don't make a lot of amiibo anymore, so.
Yeah, they don't.
Except for those cat ones, the Mario cat suit ones that are coming out later this year.
Yeah.
And Joker from Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those I'll be looking for. But beyond that, I think I have all of the Legend of Zelda ones but one, so I'm not worried about it. But our next bit of news this week, and it's a game I'll probably go into a little bit later, but the free-to-play, I don't really know what to call it. It's Fortnite with wizards, is the best way to call Spellbreak. But it's had 5 million downloads in its first month.
Yep.
And I account for, I guess, technically 2 of them.
I haven't played it, so.
Yeah, like I said, when we get to what you've been playing, I'll go into it a little bit more, but I played quite a bit of it on PS4, and I tried to play it on PC and just got ganked, and I was like, alright, going back to PS4. Going back to PS4, where my slow hands can, do their own work. But, yeah, so, but it is a very fun game, and 5 million downloads in its first month for a free-to-play game is nothing to shake a stick at.
No, That's huge.
Yeah, those
I
are
mean,
absolutely big numbers. If it wasn't for the game that's in our next story, it would probably have been even bigger.
yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, and speaking of that next story, so Among Us 2 has been canceled because Among Us has become the it game. Like it's what Fall Guys was 3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
But I oddly enough see as much staying power for this as Fall Guys still has. Fall Guys still does a lot of numbers on Twitch.
It does.
You know, it's still very much so good for streamers and people that just want to play the game in general. And Among Us is like super addicting, and like just sometimes when I'm bored, waiting for a raid to get together with the clan mates and stuff like that, I'll just turn on PC and just sit here and crank out a quick game while we're waiting for everybody to load in. But yeah, it also helps that it's technically a free-to-play game on phones.
Yeah.
And it's not the worst in the world to play on phone. And as I found out yesterday, its ability to be cross-play is very much so nice. A lot of people I play with play on phones. I host on PC, and they just join my lobbies. Once I get everybody in there, I make the lobby public. We fill it up, go on about our day.
Yeah. I mean, no, they have a really good cross-platform design. Now some of the servers were or have been a little, for lack of a better word, fucky. Like I've had a hard time joining private servers with friends.
Yeah.
I know other people that have.
Yeah.
But all in all, you can still get into the games. You just gotta try.
Yeah, it just takes a minute sometimes. And sometimes I think that's depending on, honestly, who's hosting the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it.
But I'm kind of worried about this cancellation. And I'll tell you why. So like going for a sequel for them would have been the easiest thing they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that they were making a sequel was because the code base of Among Us in general is just like outdated, so very outdated, and they even admitted that what they're doing now, which is all the content they had planned for Among Us 2, going to port into Among Us, but they even said it's probably more difficult because they're going to have to go into the original game and change the code base.
Yeah.
So why not just make the second one and have it free? Like if it's easier for you, and it's literally the same game but with more, why not just make the second one?
I actually wonder if at that point what they're going to do is they're going to take the second one, talk about all the different code bases and everything that's changed, take the actual second one, take the content from the first one, add it to the second one, release it as just a massive update where it basically uninstalls the game and basically installs 2, quote unquote. That's what I expect it to be. I think that's going to be easier for them in the long run.
I agree with that. I just hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot with that. Because it's huge right now. It doesn't need a lot to it to make it replayable all the time. Because it's replayable now. It's fun as hell.
So I'm sure we'll just go ahead and talk about this now, but I'm sure we were going to talk about it and what you've been playing. We played for like 4 or 5 hours the other night with a group of friends and had a blast. And I had never played, like, before that. I bought the PC version, but I was playing on mobile with friends.
Yeah.
And I'd never played any of the other maps. I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah. And I mean, those 3 maps, that's all you need, in my opinion, really.
Yeah, and I'm sure once we get the Among Us 2 content coming into this one, we're probably going to get at least 3 more maps.
I would say that, and I would also say a lot more sabotage viable things.
Yes.
I would say that's going to open up. There's going to be new and different tasks. I'm sure that's going to show up. Hopefully more cosmetics, because I like making my little blob of a guy look amazing.
Yeah.
He looks like he's out in, like, on a safari in Africa. Got
For the longest time, I was running around with the doctor's mask and the doctor's outfit on, and I would be in there and be like, I can't kill people. Look at me, I'm a doctor. I save lives. It immediately makes me get vented, because that's how that would work. And sus has become the new word in everybody that play with vocabulary now. We were rating yesterday. Yeah, we were rating yesterday, and I was like, this isn't going well. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Joe's the problem. We should go ahead and invent him and get it over with, and we'll all be better.
But yeah, I just hope they don't take on a workload, because I don't know how big that studio is.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how big they are. But, I imagine in the last month they've had a hell of a cash influx.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were probably content with what they had made previously, because the game's been out 2 years.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. This game didn't just come out. This game's been out for forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, they were probably completely fine with the small amount of money they had made before. It's like, yeah, we didn't expect much. Let's throw this toward Among Us 2. And then, like, a month later, they're like, wait a damn minute. What happened?
But guys,
good for them, though.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Good for them.
Absolutely good for them. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out for them going forward. And, it's funny that, we were talking about a little game that nobody knew that's blown up, and the next one was a game that everybody saw at E3 like 2 years ago and was like, that game looks ridiculous. And then it came out and it sold way more than what anybody ever thought it would, and was way more fun than anybody ever thought it would be.
Yep.
And it just sold 1 million units, and that's Maneater, the shark game.
Yep.
Just hit 1 million units. I'm happy for those guys. And with the announcement that they hit 1 million units, they announced that the game is getting free upgrades for Xbox and PS4.
What I mean, that really, as a company, to me, shows like love for their consumers.
Yes.
Because the way, I don't know, it seems to me the way they're acting about this is they didn't expect this at all. So, again, good for these guys.
Yeah.
Got these little companies making badass games.
Yeah. It's starting to feel like a little bit more of the early days of the industry, where things like this would happen more often.
Yeah.
Than just, here's what you're going to spend your money on this year. You're going to get your EA release. You're going to get your 2 Ubisoft releases. You're going to get an Activision release. You're going to get something from Sony, something from Microsoft.
Yep.
And occasionally a little indie thing pushed in there. Now more and more indie games are succeeding, and we're getting more of a variety in the types of just fun games we could play at this point. But I'm very happy to see that. Very happy to see that I'm going to be able to play it on my PlayStation 5. I am one of the 1 million units sold, so so it'll be nice to have it and see how good it looks on next gen consoles.
I mean, it looks great now.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking game now. Yeah, absolutely not.
So it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. But okay, I'm sorry, I saw something on TV and it made my brain hurt. Yeah, if you're watching football scores, you'll see what I saw too, and you just go, what? And, but, so the next bit of news we got this week is the Xbox pre-order mishaps. And a lot of people gave them crap. A lot of people have given Microsoft crap for their naming on things, and sure enough, it finally came back out that, their naming system is bad because, on Amazon, the day that pre-orders went live, the Xbox One X was the highest selling thing on Amazon because people don't know the difference between an Xbox One X and an Xbox Series X.
Listen, I'm just gonna say it. How long's the Xbox One X been out?
Over a year.
They should have known by now.
Yeah.
It was not the One X.
Yeah.
Is the naming still stupid? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I'm not fucking pre-ordering an Xbox, and I knew which one was which.
Yeah, exactly. But you figure a lot of those people were parents and grandparents and wives.
True.
Wives, that they didn't know, people in the family that doesn't play the consoles buying it for their loved ones is what the biggest percentage of those people were.
People need to do research, man.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, we joked about the bad naming and stuff before, and sure enough, on pre-order day, which by the way was once again a shit show for them as well, as much as it was for Sony, their naming is dumb. Because you know what you didn't hear? You didn't hear PS4 sales go to number 1 on Amazon the day the PS5 came out because people couldn't tell the difference. But it's just ridiculous. And also, since we're the next topic basically ties into this is Microsoft their external storage for the I have to think which one, Series X. I had to make sure I had the right one after a second. Is extremely pricey. Yeah, it's
it is
$220 for external storage.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones that are going to have external storage for these for a while. So and yeah, I don't like. Does it say how big it is for $220? Is it just like a terabyte?
It's a terabyte.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I bought a 4 terabyte, external to hook up to my PlayStation, and I paid less than half of what they're charging for that.
Well, you can buy an M.2 NVMe solid state drive that just plugs into a PCIe port on your computer, or an M.2 port on your computer, for half of that cost. What are they doing? It's storage.
Yeah.
It's not like it's RAM. What are they doing?
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. And on the flip side of that, since you did mention M.2s, Sony is the external there is no external plug-in storage. Like there is on a PS4 for a PS5. It's an M.2 slot.
Yep.
And they're getting ready to put out basically a whitelist of hey, these are the ones that work. The same way they did with the PS3, same way they did with the PS4. Here's a list of the ones that we can confirm for you that work.
That's the way it should be.
Yes, absolutely. Because Sony doesn't even make M.2 drives. There's no, they're not, they're not going to go through any process. They're just going to test the ones that are out on the market and say these ones give you the performance that we need this to give you.
And after seeing the price of this, Microsoft probably shouldn't make hard drives in general. So
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Like I don't. Do we even know the read write speed of this external? Like, has that come out?
No. But I saw it was some ridiculous number though for the PS5 read write speed that came out the other day. It was insane. It was just like a quick little note in a thing like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the read write speed that we got whenever we were testing the PS5. And it was a very, very large number. And you were just like, ooh, wow. Yeah, so this console generation feels like the first console generation where if load screens exist,
Yeah.
it's the developer's fault. Like,
Well, and on top of that, like this should be the first console that if load screens do exist, it should be as fast as a modern gaming computer because of the hard drive speeds
yes.
or the solid state speeds.
Yeah,
So,
because like they've said, they've bragged. Other game companies have bragged so much about what Sony has done
oh yeah.
with this hard drive, this SSD that is in the PlayStation 5, that they said, if Sony were to release this on the market, it would be the fastest PC hard drive out there right now.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about.
But do we have numbers like confirmed numbers for that or just kind of like hearsay?
Just basically hearsay at this point. I'm
Okay,
sure
so
the first week that we get consoles, like people like Digital Foundry and stuff like that, they'll be all over this stuff. We'll get to see real physical numbers
yeah.
for what's going on with things.
But no, I believe them.
Yeah.
I believe that it would be super fast. Although I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could believe that it'd be the fastest on the market. Period. Because Samsung really knows their shit.
Yeah, and see, the people that actually said that was Epic Games. Yeah, so Epic Games are the ones who be like, no, this is the fastest hard drive on the market. Damn, Epic throwing the gauntlet down.
I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
But no, I can't believe that it's the fastest. I do believe it's probably super fast. We're in the era of where M.2s are super cheap now.
Yeah.
Like, well, cheaper than when I bought mine. But it's super affordable. And if they found an architecture to make one faster than everybody, I can't wait to see it. Like, should be amazing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like I said, it'd just be interesting. I'm sure once everybody gets there, it's like I said, Digital Foundry, they'll have like 45-minute long videos about, this is the read write speeds and this is what it's doing and this is the resolutions it's running at and all of that fun stuff.
I'm not just for PlayStation, but I'm excited to see like benchmarks for the new consoles in general. Like really set in stone benchmarks for them. I'd say they're both going to be pretty good.
And yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be close. I don't think one is just like absolutely superior to the other. Yeah, from a technical standpoint, the Xbox is technically like this much better.
Yeah.
But then everybody talks about this hard drive for Sony basically making them this much better, even though they lack for in processing power, they make up here. So it'd be interesting, to see. Is it just Microsoft has that little bit of extra raw power versus Sony has that little bit of extra,
Well, you know what? You can have all the extra raw power in the world, but unless you have fucking games to play on it, there's no point. It's a little harsh, but I'm just saying.
It's true. No, it's absolutely true.
Give me all that processing power for all them indie games you guys are supporting. Damn, I'll fucking need it then.
Yeah. Give me that Minecraft ray tracing,
Yep. What I just don't get. Maybe Bethesda was in their plans the entire time.
Yeah, maybe, absolutely. I mean, I hope it's something,
because they don't really have anything else to show for their.
No,
yes, my console is amazingly powerful.
Yeah.
Play these shitty ass indie games on it.
But yeah, that's basically all the news we have this week. But our last little segments here is what we've been playing. We talked about Among Us. Like I said, we had a blast with it the other day. I'm not talking to anybody else in the group now, except for you. Even though I will say, you and Sparks, you guys are like fucking speedrunners or something like that when it comes to Among Us. I have never seen games end so fast when him and our friend Sparks were the imposters. It was ridiculous.
It was great. So we cut the O2 off at like the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
At the main beginning of the game, we immediately sabotaged the O2, and only 2 people came to fix it. Sparks and I were both there waiting. We ganked both of them, and nobody else came. And I think we won in like 35 seconds.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And then the next game, they gank a bunch of people. Somebody finds a body and reports it. And we had one friend in our group that had, shit you not, been the imposter 4 or 5 times in a row. So as soon as we get in there, I say, all right, this is simple, all right? We keep saying it can't be him, but it has been him 4 or 5 times in a row now. Let's just vote him out. Make sure it's not him, and then move on. And sure enough, I was actually like one of the only people left alive at that point.
Yeah, like I was like, man, I'll go with your gut, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
No, everybody agreed with me way too fast. I should have known something was wrong right then and there. Like everybody was just like, yeah, absolutely. And no sooner than we voted him off than the game ended.
Yep. Yeah. So, sorry about that. We're
Then one time, you know, I turned on a teammate as an imposter. Like I watched him kill somebody, walked away, started to come back, noticed somebody else stepped into the area, fucking hit the button and was like, I saw it. I saw what happened. It was it was him. It was him. I agree. Let's get him out of here. Then went on to win that game by myself.
Big brain plays.
Yeah, big brain plays. Then another time I had a teammate turn on me. He was playing dumb. Like, oh, guys, I don't know where anything is on this map. I don't know what's going on. And I watched him sabotage the reactor and stand in the reactor waiting for people to come in. Everybody comes in a group, so he runs over, fixes the reactor, and acts like everything's fine. I was like, oh, that's just big brain plays right there all around. But we had a blast.
We did. It was so fun.
And I know you guys have went on to play some Arma. I've been busy, so I haven't been able to play as much with you guys as I was originally hoping to, but I will be getting back to it with you guys this week. How much Arma have you guys actually gotten in? Very little.
A bit.
A bit, is it? Okay.
A bit. Like after you got off, I didn't play any yesterday because nobody was around. But after you got off Friday night,
but yeah, they changed server host, right?
We did.
Yeah, yeah, because we were having some problems with the hosting people that we started with.
It's super stable now.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna be playing directly after the podcast too. So if you are down, if you're not super busy, I'll probably be playing roughly all night or so. So
yeah, I get. Well, I don't know if I can. I gotta travel in the morning, but I can definitely play for a couple hours tonight.
Yeah, because Chris and I are gonna hop on and play some directly after this. I might have to grab a bite to eat, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, it's same for me. I'm gonna go make a protein shake and go from there.
Yeah.
Gotta get that protein in.
Always.
But I'm trying to think, of course, I've still playing a lot of Destiny. I mentioned Spellbreak earlier. There was a day, I even streamed it for anybody that stopped by on that stream. There was a couple of people that stopped by on that stream. Spellbreak, me and a friend from the clan, she convinced me to try it, and then we got another person in on it, and got another person in on it. Like, my only biggest complaint is right now is that it is only lobbies of 60 and only teams of 3. I wish it was teams of 4. To me, I think teams of 4 would be perfect.
Right.
And me and her, actually, we won our first game.
Oh, yeah.
Which was weird, super fucking weird. I think she went in as fire, I went in as lightning. I'm just weighing laced to people. I killed 9 people that first game, and it was the best game I ever had. Because I haven't been close to it since. As other people have gotten to know the game and gotten better, I've gotten worse.
Right.
But just trying to find, because basically, like I said, you drop in like Fortnite, and you have a primary gauntlet power, and it's either corrosive, lightning, fire, stone, earth. I'm sure I'm missing something there, but so you have one gauntlet on this hand, and when you drop, you can get upgrades for that gauntlet. And you also have another hand, you can put another gauntlet of another element type on it and mix and match them. One of the most popular ones you'll see in the game is a mix between fire and wind. They have an ability where they'll lay down a tornado and then shoot the tornado with fire, and it becomes like a fire cyclone. that scoops people
That's
up.
cool.
Yeah. And one of my favorite combinations is corrosive and electric. So I'll lay down a big corrosive cloud and then shoot it with electricity, and the electricity just radiates through the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks it's a corrosive thunderstorm.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to play that.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds great.
yeah, we've enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, we ended up losing like 6 or 7 hours to it that first day. Just like blink of an eye. Don't know what the hell happened to the day. It was just gone.
Yeah.
But we had a blast with it, and if it wasn't for Among Us, we probably would have been playing it more. But trying to think what else I played this week. Not a whole lot, really. A little bit.
Play
Of
Tarkov.
yeah. How was going back to Tarkov? It'd been a while for you, right?
Yeah, it'd been months. You know what? Like, I made the decision that I wanted to play a shooter. Kind of like a strategic shooter.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't want to. I don't know, because there's a lot to do in Tarkov with tasks, quests, and all that stuff. And I made the decision that I wasn't gonna worry about any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna go in, get loot, and shoot people in the face, and that's what I've been doing. And I don't make it out most of the time, but I have a good time shooting people in the face, and that's all that matters to me. So
Yeah, no. That's probably how I would have to play that game. I couldn't play it with the intention of, man, I got to get in there and win. Nah, my shooting skills suck too much anymore. Like my hands are crap.
if you're good enough, you can go around an entire map and never see anything and make it out with a ton of loot.
Yeah, that's actually kind of how I play PUBG sometimes. I will avoid conflict all the way up until top 15. Once I get in top 15, then it's time to start ganking people. But before that, I'm just like hiding, jumping from building to building, avoiding any type of conflict. Always find a vehicle, go to the center of the circle, chill out, wait for the circles to move, see what's going on, that type of thing. And I know it looks like I'm doing something here because I got the little moldy stuff that I used to like help my hands. I stuck it on my keyboard, and it kind of melted to my keyboard.
Oh.
So just on the bottom pad of it. So I'm currently trying to knead that off of it. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm having an interesting moment, to say the least. But yeah, I think that's really like I haven't played any more Mario this week. That's absolutely something I have to get back to. I want to finish 64 and start in on Sunshine. Thinking. The game Genshin Impact came out today. It's something I think we mentioned on the show a couple of times. It's like a free to play, like MMO type deal on PS4 and PC. I bought like a little starter pack for that. So I'm probably going to give that a try one day this week. And I don't know. We'll just see where the week takes me.
I'm probably just gonna play a ton of Arma. Been having a ton of fun playing Arma.
And don't forget that you've also been playing a lot of NBA 2K21.
Yep. I mean, I always play a lot of NBA though. It's kind of like my second Rocket League now.
Yeah, and
I always play that too.
Yeah, and I downloaded and played some Rocket League on PS4 the other day, and I followed out like a god over the course of 3 games, and I was like, something's wrong. Either PS4 players are bad, or I've magically became a savant overnight, and I'm willing to bet it's PS4 players are bad. So
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, no.
I'll play with one hand.
Yeah, I know you do. You would still only win by 3 at that point, so
I don't know about that. That'd be really hard to play with one hand.
Yeah, I guess you lay your controller down and kind of. Yeah, that would
have to do some weird like claw.
Yeah, it had to have the claw kind of going on. But yeah, it would definitely be interesting. But so the only thing we've got for this week, guys, left is our top 5. Something we like to end every show with, and to let people know a little bit more about us. Talk about some things that people might not have heard about before. And this week is the top 5 games of the PS2 Xbox GameCube era.
Yep.
And if you want to go ahead and start us out with your number 5.
Sure. I'll go ahead and preface this list. I have no GameCube games on here. I didn't own a GameCube. I've never played GameCube games. So all of mine are going to be from like Xbox and PS2. But my first game is Fable, the original Fable. Um, I had to make some changes because of a conversation we had earlier before the podcast. But no, the original Fable, I think they need to start, remaking those, remastering those. They were good RPGs. It was kind of like what we talked about for Morrowind. We didn't really have like RPGs like that on console. Fable was, in my opinion, like the predecessor to Witcher games. I mean, they had to take a lot of inspiration from Fable. Countless hours. I've played all of them. Countless hours of fun on all of them. But no, the original Fable is definitely a good one. I would love to see it remastered. Put it on remaster and put it on Game Pass, Microsoft. What are you doing?
Well, actually, they already did.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, it's not technically like a hard remaster. I mean, no, it's a remaster, not a remake. But right. it has all the original content and stuff on it, and it is available on Game Pass.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, did they put it up-to-date graphics or no?
Fairly up-to-date graphics. They like I said, it's not a remake. You know, they didn't go hard at it. They just kind of smoothed everything out. And
well, how about this, Microsoft? Instead of doing a remake or a remaster, just like make a good one.
Well, I mean, they did. They did tease that.
They did.
They did. But God knows how far out it is.
And God knows if it'll be good.
Yeah, because it is a completely different studio now. So.
Yep. So, just make a good one, guys. That's all I ask for.
But so my number 5 is a cross-platform game that I played primarily on GameCube, eventually on Xbox, and that's Soul Calibur 2. Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 was an amazing game. I really loved the original on the Dreamcast. And, it became hugely popular whenever this version of it came out. And it had the greatest, reason that I know at least one person that bought every version of the game. And that was because each version of the game had an exclusive fighter.
Yeah.
So PS2 had Heihachi from the Tekken series. Xbox had Spawn.
Yep.
And GameCube had Link.
Yep.
From The Legend of Zelda, and Link was really overpowered. But yeah, power-wise, Link was definitely overpowered. Spawn was good. Spawn had these really heavy combos that you had to really dig into. But once you got them going, you were just messing somebody up. And Heihachi was Heihachi. But as you can tell, that was definitely not the version I played. But I did know people that owned that version. But right. I still own a copy of Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube to this day, and still have a completed save for it, as long as that that memory card hasn't died. But it was just one of my favorite fighting games of that console generation, and probably one of my if I were to rank a top 5 fighting games of all time type of list, it would definitely be on that list for me.
I think it'd be on mine too. No, I never owned it, but my cousin that lived right down the road from me, I played it at his house all the time.
Yeah.
So, great game.
Yeah. So, what do you have for your number 4?
Need for Speed Underground 2. We argued a bit about this.
Yeah. Before. So yeah. You're a fan of 2. I'm a fan of the original.
Right. And we're all still waiting for a remake.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It needs to happen. No, I've probably spent 400 hours just driving around in the open world that's Need for Speed Underground 2, just buying every car possible, customizing them fully. It was the first game that really gave us interior and exterior cosmetics for vehicles. There's other than the first Underground. But no, graphics were better on Underground too.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely give you that. Like, it was definitely a way better, more graphically advanced game.
Soundtrack was better. Um, I'm just that's personal opinion.
Yeah, that's personal opinion.
Um, but no, yeah, I think everybody should have Need for Speed Underground on their like top 10 list for this generation.
Yeah, and that was a cross-platform game.
Yep.
It was available on all three consoles, and I know that because I have both of them sitting on my shelf for my GameCube.
Yeah, there you go.
So. But then, so my number 4 is the beginning of a series that was great for a long time, and unfortunately hasn't had a new game in a while, and that is the original Splinter Cell on Xbox.
Great game.
Yes, absolutely a great game. Like, almost infuriatingly hard stealth at times. Yeah. Like, you really had to get used to it. But yeah, I absolutely love that series. And yeah, just all the same Vistra games. Like, up until, like, I would say Conviction. Like, they were all really good games. And I never did play the last one. Maybe that's something I go back and try at some point. I actually think I own it now for not my GameCube, listen, a Wii U, because it came out on the Wii U.
I don't even remember playing one past 360 or even on 360.
A Conviction was the big one that was on 360, and the biggest thing I remember about it was that as a pre-order bonus, it came with a USB drive. Mm-hmm. That, and if you put the USB drive into your 360, it would corrupt the hard drive or something like that. It was it was messed up. Like, they were recalling the flash drives. They were screwing up people's consoles.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder why they would do that.
I mean, it had to be an error somewhere. But and now those collector's editions that come with those USB drives are actually really hard to find because so many of them got sent back.
Yeah. But I mean, still though, you would think that would be in QA somewhere.
Yeah, you would think, like, guys, we're giving, Xbox 360s can save data onto a USB flash drive. Maybe we should test our USB flash drive to make sure it's not going to ruin people's, games.
Yeah, I mean, that's common sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's wild.
Yeah. But no, well, actually, the first 3 Splinter Cell games are all great games.
Yeah.
So I played the third one, Chaos. I think Chaos Series, the third one, on my GameCube, and it took an entire memory card, an entire regular size memory card to put the save data on. So needless to say, I wasn't pleasantly happy about that. But, I still enjoyed the hell out of
it. Oh, yeah.
But, so, what's your number 3?
Guitar Hero 2.
Yeah, I've never been great at the Guitar Hero games, mostly because I have little fingers and they don't move well.
No, I get that. But no, not the original Guitar Hero, because it was super, super rough.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing. The song list on this game is fucking great. You had everything from like Thin Lizzy to Megadeth. There's like Motley Crue, Kiss, Cheap Trick. I mean, Alice in Chains. There were so many good songs. Like, I could still sit down and play through probably most of these songs. And another thing, like, this is kind of where Guitar Hero made that, like, bold, our last song is the hardest song statement, because this is where Freebird was launched. And then, like, after this on 3, I believed it was Through the Fire and the Flames. Was that on 3?
I think so.
No, it was Devil Went Down in Georgia.
Oh, okay. Devil Went Down in Georgia.
Because that was when they tried to push that weird like battle thing for your final song.
Yeah.
But yeah, Guitar Hero 2, definitely number 3.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing those games, but they did eventually run them in the ground pretty hard.
Yeah.
When there was like 17. Hey, here, check out, Guitar Hero Aerosmith and Guitar Hero AC/DC and, try DJ Hero and
Hey, DJ Hero's fun as fuck.
Yeah, see, I always wanted to try it, but I was always like, I don't know if I want that sitting around my house.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to use, like, if you couldn't find the disc, I have the disc.
Oh, do you?
So, like the wicca,
yeah,
the whole turntable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you wanted to try it, because it's harder than Guitar Hero.
I imagine it is. Yeah. Okay, now you got me curious. What consoles do I own now that it came out on? Oh wow, that came out on PS2.
Yeah.
And PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360. Well, got a PS3 and a Wii. So yeah, I guess I'll try to find me a disc. I'll give it a go. Yeah, no. That's a ridiculous thing we're going to try on. Okay. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Is it expensive?
I just looked up the DJ Hero bundle with the turntable. So on oh my god. So the 360 version is $120. They don't have one on for the PlayStation 3. The Wii is $90. The PlayStation 2 is 70.
Okay, here I found. If I just need a disc, I can get the PS3 disc for $7.
Right, but I don't know if the connectors are the same. Yeah. I can't remember what my turntable is for.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it'll cost me like $40. Well, $37.99 and $14.99 shipping for a PS3 setup.
I'll get with you and make sure what the turntable goes to, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I'll just add that to my watch list. That's the best way to do that.
There we go. That'll be so great to watch you play that.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway. Yeah, anyways, so I guess we're on to my number 3 now, and this game was a weird game for me because when it came out, I never played it. I sat there and I technically played through it with a buddy. He played it, and I just sat there like flipping through a strategy guide, just like reading ahead, like basically ruining the game for myself. Like there's a big twist about 2 hours into the game where you switch from one character to another, and I knew about that about 20 minutes before it happened, and I just read it, and I was like, and just kept reading. I was like, no, can't tell him. Nope. Just gonna watch and see what happens. And that's Metal Gear 2. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2. A friend of mine from high school, David, he was playing through it, and he was like me. He always bought strategy guides with his games, but he hardly ever used them. Me, on the other hand, I like to read them cover to cover. Maybe not necessarily as I'm playing the game, but as I might need help or something like that, or just I get bored and I'll sit down one day and I'll read some of it. And yeah, whenever that twist came up in that game, I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna not say anything and I'm just gonna keep watching the screen and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I remember when the demo for that came out, we played that demo for hours and hours on end. We explored every inch of that boat, trying to find like hidden things that might be in the demo, things we weren't supposed to see. Just anything we could run into that would be awesome. And I loved that game so much that I went back and played through it again on PS3, and I own a copy for it for the original Xbox because it did eventually come to original Xbox, and that's actually where I played through it myself for the first time, was on original Xbox. But I really, really enjoyed that game. Like, out of because Metal Gear 2 and 3 came out in that console generation. Metal Gear 2 was definitely, to me, the more superior game.
Right.
I know a lot of people dig on 3 in a big bad way. A lot of people didn't like the character switch from Snake to Raiden in 2, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed that game. I could sit down and play through it again, and I might now that it's on GOG. I just might.
Right. Yeah. I don't blame you. I need to at least get in and play one or two of them. So
Yeah. So, what is your number 2?
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Like one of the best Final Fantasies ever made, in my opinion. I know Final Fantasy games have a very opinionated thing.
Yeah. No. If I were to pick one, like ooh, that would be oh man, I just got another weird, interesting topic in my head. Top 5 Final Fantasy games. Like, oh, could you imagine trying to make that list?
Easy. No.
No. Yeah, okay. All right. Then everybody just heard it here for the first time. That's what next week's top 5 is.
Let's get it.
But no, back to 10. No. So funny thing about this is I had a PS2 at the time. I did not have a memory card, and so I played this game for 3 days straight, and then the power went out. No. And I did not return to it until I started playing through it on my GameCube. Or not my GameCube, goddamn, listen to me. My Switch. Yeah, I said GameCube and I saw it melt your brain. No.
Yeah. I can't believe that happened to you. I feel like bad, even though it was like decades ago.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was literally like 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago now. Yeah. But yeah,
so sad.
Yeah, it made me very much so sad. But yeah. So needless to say, shortly after that, I went out and bought a memory card finally.
Yeah.
And still yet, refused to go back to the game after I'd lost so much time. But I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of that game, and I enjoyed playing through it again on the Switch. And actually, I ended up later on playing through all of 10-2 when 10-2 came out. Like, because sequels in that universe at that point were so unheard of that I eventually did see the ending of 10. I watched a buddy finish it, and I played 10-2 and loved the hell out of it. So, but yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, I know yeah, no, that's got to be next week's list now. Is those games.
Top 5 Final Fantasies?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a little rough, but I think I got it like pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't think it'll take long.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it'll take long to figure out a list. I'm sorry, I'm on GOG right now looking to see what the price of the Metal Gear games are. They're $9.99 a piece.
That's not bad.
Nope.
I can swing that.
Yeah. They even actually have the original NES Metal Gear on there for $5.99. If somebody wanted to go incredibly old school, don't have to go that far. There's emulators for that. You don't need them for that. We'll emulate that. But no, apparently they've done a little bit of work to them also. So
that's good.
Yeah. So awesome. Yeah. So yes, we're on to. That was your number 2, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my number 2 is a game that I'm probably going to hopefully start playing one day next week, and over again. And it's one that I actually still own on my GameCube, and that's Mario Sunshine. When deciding the top 5 for this list, and I've mentioned it in prior weeks, I try not to mention games over and over again on different lists, or Wind Waker probably would have been on this list. So, but yeah, absolutely Mario Sunshine. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, the jetpack's weird," and cleaning all the water and stuff. Nah, I love the hell out of that game. Yeah, I absolutely love that game, and can't wait to 100% it yet again. So much so that I still have my original strategy guide for it. So I'm sure I'll be referring to that one because unlike Mario 64, which I talked about last week, I do not have like instant recollection of everything in Mario Sunshine. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a Mario game. What can you say? That they're always top tier. They always find a way to take that genre and just kick it up a little bit each time.
Right.
But so what do you got for your number one?
I don't know if you're ready for it.
Oh.
No, I mean, I think you're ready for it.
Okay.
It it kind of has to be the original Halo. I think it has to be like for what the original Halo did
Mm-hmm.
for first person shooters in general,
Mm-hmm.
and then going after that for Halo 2, it basically made a market because back then Call of Duty wasn't huge. Call of Duty was nothing. Nothing. Halo, the original Halo, exploded. And then after that, like now we have first person shooters for years.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
days and days and days, catalogs and catalogs. And me personally, I think the original Halo is what started that. Tons of fun in that game too. The pistol on that game was broken as fuck.
Still
I
is.
remember
Still is in the Master Chief Collection. It absolutely
yeah,
still is.
like you could be on Coagulation or Blood Gulch, I think it was called back then, and just be like, I see a guy over there. Bop,
Yeah.
dead.
Like I kind of see. Pop. Okay. Nope. He's gone.
Just one tap a man in the face across a map with it. Super broken, but tons of good times on it. I mean, I don't know. Halo, it sparked a generation of FPSers.
Yeah,
So
no, absolutely. It absolutely did. And, the FPS has evolved so much from, that being, kind of cinematic story game, but to what a first person, FPS story based game is now. It, it's so much farther, than what anybody could have ever imagined one being back then.
right, yeah, and I mean, if we want to go back a long way, like GoldenEye was the first real FPS ever.
Yeah.
But like, to me, I mean that's what started it all.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not what gave it the push that Halo did.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
Halo's just one of those timeless games.
for me, it would probably be 2/1.
Same, but
Yeah.
I can't really choose that one here. I don't think.
Oh. Okay.
'Cause that was on 360 though, right?
No, Halo 2 was original Xbox game.
Was it?
Yes. Yeah, 3 was the first one on 360.
Okay, yeah, my brain didn't work then. Then it's definitely Halo 2. I have more memories on Halo 2 than I do the original Halo.
Yeah.
But regardless, the original's not a bad pick. It's what started it all.
Yeah.
It's what jump started all of this. So either way, it's great. I probably have like 7,000 hours in the original Halo 2. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And my number one is actually something that's already been mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think I in total have 6 playthroughs of this game.
Oh, okay.
And it's one that I've absolutely enjoyed, and I've wanted to go back into a series playthrough on this.
You should.
And play all 3 of the games because I've actually never played the third one. As much hype as I had for the third one of this series, I ended up not playing it.
Well,
and
I think I already know what it is.
Yeah. I figured you have a pretty good idea, and it's Fable.
Yep.
Yeah. It was your number 5. It's my number 1. It is the reason that I chose Xbox over PlayStation in that console generation.
Which that was a great reason.
Yes. It and KOTOR were the 2 reasons that I went PlayStation or went Xbox over PlayStation.
No, yeah. 3's not the best,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I know they changed the formula up in it quite a bit, but
yeah.
all three of the games are on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I can play all three of them there, and I think I actually own 2 and 3, or maybe just 2. I know I own some amount of them, but yeah, it's just no. Go ahead.
In my opinion, 2 is the best.
Yeah,
But
2 is the best, but 2 was a 360 game in that
yeah,
situation. So, but yeah, and, 2 was the reason that I eventually bought a 360.
yeah.
It was basically the only thing I wanted to play on 360. That I was willing to shell out like $200 for a super base model that didn't even have like a hard drive with it. It just had
Yep.
like a half a gig of internal memory or something like that, ridiculous like that. Yeah.
But here's the thing, Microsoft, you have the capability of making people buy your consoles over one game.
Mm-hmm.
Just take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And back then that was absolutely it. But yeah, no, I have so many playthroughs of that game. For some reason, I play a female character every time. I don't know why.
Happens.
And I've been evil. I've been good. I've tried to stay kind of neutrally. I've sacrificed my sister. I've saved my sister. I've played through the DLCs. I've beaten. Was it Jack of? Oh, what was his name? Jack of Hearts. Jack of Spades. The boss. I beat because when you play through the DLC and fight him, he turns into a dragon.
Yeah.
So I've beaten him multiple times in there. I've 100%ed the entire game in the DLC multiple times. It's just such an amazingly fun game. And yeah, I could absolutely do it again at a moment's notice for no reason. But yeah, that's our top fives for this week, guys, and that's pretty much the show. And sounds like we've already got our top fives in place again for next week.
Yeah. I had another one in my list, but I was yelled at and told to change it before.
I wasn't. They didn't yell at you, okay?
He listen. He's mean sometimes.
No. What it was. See, I mentioned that I have been not trying to repeat games, and that made him change his. I didn't force him to change it.
No,
But yeah, no, we absolutely have a couple honorable mentions. If you want to go ahead and mention yours.
I mean, Jack and Daxter,
Yeah.
the precursor legacy. Fred, that's all I have to say. I don't have to say anymore because I've mentioned Jack and Daxter too many times.
Yeah, games that would be honorable mentions for me. I mean, yeah, like I mentioned, I didn't want to add Wind Waker to it. Because I've mentioned it so many times. The GameCube Animal Crossing was the first Animal Crossing I ever played, even though I think it was actually the second or the third in the series. Might have been the first one to come to the U.S. though, so maybe that's why it was the first one that I played. And Shadow of the Colossus for PS2. Yeah, that was a fun. It was the whole reason that I eventually did buy a PS2 was to play Shadow of the Colossus. Right before basically 6 months before I bought a PS3, I bought a PS2 so I could play Shadow of the Colossus.
I've never played that game.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to play that game. I think I need to buy like the re-release of it that came out
the PS4 re-release. I think it's $20 in the store, and you find it on sale for half that sometimes. But yeah, I bought actually a real nice collector's edition of it. Cause man, it came with a steelbook, so I was just like, yeah, add to cart.
I mean, why not?
Yeah,
gotta have the steelbook.
Yeah, that's how I am. It's a problem. But maybe that's the next video I make. My problem with steelbooks. And just it would be like 7 or 8 stacks of stuff here, not just video game steelbooks, like movie steelbooks, buying movies multiple times for steelbooks. Having Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 8 in Steelbook, which is an incredible feat if you know how hard some of those are to get a hold of. Ridiculous stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think that is all the show we have for this week.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good one.
Yeah.
There's a good bit of information to talk about.
Yeah, and we're starting to roll into October. We're still going to start getting game releases. I'm sure we'll be playing some of those games and giving them a go, seeing how they work, seeing how we feel about them. But that's the show we got for this week, guys. Thanks for everybody to stop by. As always, we record on Sundays on Twitch at twitch.tv/thegeekdom, and you go up on Mondays if YouTube doesn't hate me over on the YouTube channel. No,
YouTube hates everybody.
No, it was weird. I posted it on Monday this week, and I didn't realize for some reason the video went live as private, and I didn't realize it for 2 days. So the show was technically up on Monday, but nobody got to see it until Wednesday. So yeah. But guys, that's all the show we got for this week, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Take care.